waited for this moment. I know your genes, Gene.
Mr. Sinister is an odd villain, sort of a mutant but also kinda not, and even that changes depending on which show you're watching. He first appeared in X-Men the animated series, and something about his appearance was very eye-catching. That's right, it's the M shape on his stomach, which looks like the McDonald's logo in black. Now you've seen it, you won't be able to unsee it, trust me. He looks like a horror monster like Frankenstein, although his face is pale and lifeless, with striking black eye sockets, red eyes, a black goatee, and Dracula-like hair. Then there's the red diamond that he bears on his forehead and his chest. His interest in the X-Men is always with Scott and Jean, as he sees them as the parents required to make the perfect mutant. A Victorian-era scientist, he kidnapped and experimented on mutants, leading to self-experimentation that granted him a mutant gene, immortality, and numerous powers, including instant regeneration like Wolverine. After saving Morph and curing his body, he uses him to try and split up the X-Men team. He then kidnaps Scott and Jean. The remaining X-Men track him down and stop him, but Sinister returns later. After tricking Xavier and Magneto into meeting in the Savage Land, he robs them of their powers and forces them to roam alone in the dangerous landscape. The X-Men eventually defeat Mr. Sinister, smashing him to pieces. That isn't the end though, and he'll return later.
As my creations, as my gift to the world, the mutant powers of all combined in each, as my children.
The next appearance for Mr. Sinister wasn't until 2009, when he showed up as the villain fighting the X-Men in the first episode of Marvel Superheroes, What the? He's threatening to hit the Beast with a ray gun that removes mutations, which Beast actually wants, before his teammates swoop in to protect him and fight Sinister.
Say farewell to life as a mutant.
His second main appearance was also in 2009 in Wolverine and the X-Men. He looks more alive this time. His armor is also less over the top, and those weird straps coming out of his back are not there this time. But the red diamond on his chest is even more pronounced, and the whole look is more streamlined. Mr. Sinister is a mutant and the prime follower of Apocalypse. He conspired to cast the villain's intentions true and partnered with the Marauders as well. He created Archangel after Warren's wings were removed under the wishes of his father and kidnapped Grey once she was found alive to get her DNA along with Cyclops.
If you want your wings back, you need only ask.
In 2018, Mr. Sinister appeared in Robot Chicken. We get a skit where he's been referred by his friend, Apocalypse, for having an awful dress sense. Eventually, he gets a new look. Mr. Sinister next appeared in 2021 in the MODOK episode If Saturday Be For the Boys, voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson. He is seen mocking MODOK along with the leader and Madame Mask in the episode.
Your ass stole his boot when he shoved it too far inside you. You're not a top-tier supervillain.
His biggest storyline to date has just unfolded in X-Men 97. In this appearance, his armor was much more blue than it has ever looked before, popping against the red of his huge collar, the diamond on his chest, belt, and armband. But the weird cape made of strands matching his suit is back in this feature. In the early part of the first season, it looked like Mr. Sinister was pulling the strings behind the scenes and was the main villain for the show, but in the end, it turned out he was working for Bastion. Still, he had his own plans, including kidnapping and cloning Jean, using her power to try and steal Cyclops and her clone's baby, Nathan, infecting him with a virus, meaning he is sent to the future with Bishop to find a cure. That turns out to be none other than Cable, of course.